What is good, everyone, and welcome back to another video. So we're going to dive straight into this one. I decided to go for the Platinum Trophy in Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This game is developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu. These are the same people that gave us the amazing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So when I picked up Cosmic Invasion, I knew I was getting something good. I might be jumping a little ahead of myself here, but I think the number one thing I really appreciated with this game was the fact that it did not overstay its welcome from a Platinum perspective. If you know what you're doing and you're really pushing yourself, I reckon you can probably get this Platinum in about 5 to 6 hours. I took my time with it. I wanted to enjoy it with my kids by testing characters out and whatnot, and enjoying the little story that it actually had on offer. I found it quite entertaining. I think it took me a little under 10 hours to do, which again is not really that bad. And when I decided to go for the PS5 version, because the version you're watching now is going to be the PS4 version, I know exactly what I'm doing, which means I can challenge myself and try and beat my time. Anyway, that's enough of all of that. Let's dive into the trophies, shall we? So trophy number 1 is a good old-fashioned prologue trophy. We get forced to use the characters Nova and Phyla-Vell, and after concluding the prologue, we get our first trophy. Next, we got our first character-specific trophy. Every character has one in this game, and my one was specifically for getting 100 hits with Wolverine. And because me and my son also finished the first stage in co-op, we got a trophy for finishing our first stage in multiplayer, and you can do this in either local co-op or online. Alright, do you remember when I said to you guys there were trophies related to character-specific actions? So to save myself sounding like some kind of drone to you guys, anytime there's a slew of trophies that pop in a row that are related to characters, I'm just going to bundle them all together. It's more convenient, and it kind of avoids the whole this trophy popped and then that next trophy popped. And here they are. We got one for Nova, Captain America, and Beta Ray Bill. So this next trophy, I actually really enjoyed this one. It was for performing 50 assists. I really enjoyed being able to seamlessly switch between characters. It's just the tap of a button. For me, I'm on PlayStation, so it's L2. And the way it works is anytime you're attacking with your active character, just tap the L2 button and it will just seamlessly switch to your background character. And you can keep doing this. It's a really fun mechanic. On the subject of assisting, would you guys mind assisting me maybe if you're enjoying the video? Just, click all those buttons that you're used to clicking. Okay, yep, cheers, lovely, thank you. Moving on. Alright, so next I got a trophy that was related to Iron Man. It was called Electric Trap, and I had to trap 50 enemies within Iron Man's Electro Charge attack. I actually really like this attack, by the way. It did damage over time, and you could essentially put it on the borders of the screen. That way, anytime an enemy tried to come into the screen, they would either get stuck or get knocked back. Really cool move. But keeping the pace, I then got a trophy for getting a 200 hit combo, and at first glance when I saw this trophy I thought, oh, that's probably going to be the hardest one. It really isn't that hard because it's extremely easy to juggle the opponents in this game. On top of that, your combo doesn't expire, so as long as you don't get hit, you can pretty much keep it up throughout the entire stage. And I got this one with Black Panther, surprisingly. I thought I'd get it with someone else, but I'll set for Black Panther. Next up was good old Spidey. So I actually didn't use Spider-Man a single time in this game. My son pretty much occupied that slot. And what you had to do was just knock down 5 enemies in a single swinging kick. There's quite a few opportunities to do this throughout the entire game, especially if you're playing in 4-player. They really ramp up the density of enemies in 4-player, but you can do this in 1-player or 2-player. It doesn't really matter. There's quite a few places to do it, and here's that trophy. Alright, so if you give a shit about the story, a little bit of a spoiler here, so ding ding ding. What we had to do for this next one was perform a team assist using Wolverine and Storm on Dark Phoenix. And right after that trophy pops, we get another one, which is a story related trophy for reviving Phoenix and stop the Wave from invading Earth. On the subject of story-related trophies, we then got another story-related trophy, which was for essentially just knocking Venom out of his frenzy. And this next trophy was another character one. It was for performing 50 counterattacks with Black Panther. Alright, so we need to go back on ourselves a little bit here. There's a trophy for using a hero to defeat their own doppelganger. Now, the first opportunity you get to do this, I believe, is against Phoenix. So I picked the newly unlocked Jean Grey, run the mission that she spawns in, beat her doppelganger, and pop the Variant Fighter trophy. We got 2 more character trophies popping now. One is called Ground Pound, and it's for Venom. All we had to do was knock down 3 enemies while using Venom's Smash and Grab. A bit tricky to set up, but not that bad. And then we had to do something similar with She-Hulk. It's called Knock 'em Down, and we had to hit 4 enemies while throwing a single opponent with She-Hulk. I'd say that one was probably more tricky, but again, there's quite a few opportunities where loads of enemies appear on screen, so just grab one and just lob them into a bunch of enemies. Again, it's not bad, it's pretty easy stuff. Our next 2 trophies were related to leveling heroes. So the first one, we maxed out our first hero. And then the second one, which we popped a few minutes later, was for reaching Ultimate Team level. So if you're unaware what Ultimate Team level is, if you don't have the game, it's essentially just all your characters' levels combined into one. And when you do that, you get a trophy with a lovely little homage called Ultimate Alliance. Still absolutely heartbroken, by the way, that Ultimate Alliance 3 only came to the Switch. I hope if we get a fourth one, that's not the case. Keeping it simple for the next one is another story-related trophy. We rescued this character called Phyla-Vell. I'm going to be real, by the way. I'm not a deep Marvel fan, so when I saw this character, I was like, who is Phyla-Vell? I'm not sure if she's a new-ish character. Apparently, she's got something to do with the Guardians, but she seems pretty cool. And I know that has nothing to do with trophies, but I felt like just saying something else to, you know, spice it up from the whole this trophy, that trophy. It's the hardest thing about these videos, by the way. But yeah, moving on. We then got another character trophy with Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider to be specific, and we had to beat 50 enemies using his Cosmic Ghost Rider blasters. I'm going to be really real, by the way. This one took ages to unlock because they were really weak. Great character, very fun to use, but those blasters were terrible. And yet again, we get another story-related trophy for beating probably the most now notorious villain in Marvel history, and that is Thanos. Okay, this next trophy is probably the only one you really have to go out your way to do. Luckily, I've got 4 controllers, so it wasn't that bad. You have to basically trigger a full team special attack with 3 other players. Now, I've never played the online in this mode, so I don't know how populated it is. I imagine it's quite populated as of the time of launching this video because it's week 1. But you can do this in local, which is what I did. All you have to do is get every player to hold R1 and then just tap L2. I think only one person needs to tap it. And once you all combine your power together to execute that special attack, it will pop the special attack assemble trophy. Yeah, probably the most annoying one in the entire game, but again, it's not that bad. I've done a lot worse. Next 2 trophies are, again, more character related trophies. We got one for defeating 15 enemies with Phoenix's fire dash and air attack. A little note on that one, by the way, I think Storm is the same way. You can't do that from the get-go. You have to get them to at least level 5 because every character in this game gets a passive skill at level 5, and that trophy is actually tied to that passive skill. But yeah, that pops. And then we get another one called Quantum Strike with another character I didn't use because my son, yet again, occupied this character, and that was for performing 50 successful teleport strikes as Phyla-Vell. This next trophy was just another story related trophy. It's called Cosmic Rescue, and it's for freeing Silver Surfer from the Insectoid influence. Alright, these next trophies are the last of the character specific trophies. So 1, Perfect Storm, absorbed 10 electric attacks and dealt it back to the enemy as Storm. I'm not gonna lie, the wording for that trophy was very confusing because all you need to do, once you get level 5 and you get her passive skill, you just need to dodge at the right moment and then hit the attack button. So it's worded kind of weird, that trophy, but yeah, that pops to that. And then we get another one for Silver Surfer, and we get another one for Rocket. Next, we got the trophy for completing the game in multiplayer, local or online. And I'm not sure, but I think you may just be able to do the last stage for that to count. I could be wrong, but there's a trophy coming up that kind of made me come to that conclusion, and I'll get to that in a second. But for now, we get our last story-related trophy, Bug Repelled, which is for vanquishing Annihilus and his invasion forces. And then coming full circle, in relation to the complete the game in multiplayer, this next trophy is for completing the game with all characters. Now, there is a disgusting cheese for this. Every time you do the last level with 2 characters, it will tick those boxes for those 2 characters. And you can track this, by the way, in the in-game trophy section. So what I did, just to see if it would work, because when I used 2 characters and my son used 2 characters, it said 4 out of 15 in the in-game trophy section. So I thought, hold on a second, if I just plug another 2 controllers in and we each use 2 characters, that's basically 8 characters per run. So we did that and it worked, and it made this trophy an absolute breeze, which is for completing the game with all characters. Okay, these next 3 trophies are all basically related to each other, and I'm going to call this the cleanup job because there was a few missions I couldn't do the challenges on the first run through, so I went back to them. Each stage has a cosmic cube in it, and you have to find all cosmic cubes. And the reason for that is because when you go to the Matrix reward section, you have to use the points you get from the cubes to unlock the entire Matrix section. So there's going to be 3 trophies that are going to pop here. One of them is for finding all cosmic cubes. The next one is for completing all stage challenges. And then last but not least, completing the entire Matrix grid to get every single collectible, I guess you could say, which follows up with the beautiful Platinum Trophy. So just quickly, I want to say I do recommend this game. If you want something to just chill and play with your friends, by all means go for it. It's cheap as well. On day 1, it was a little over £20 in my currency. It's short and sweet, and as I said at the beginning of the video, it never overstays its welcome. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I tried to keep this one short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.